Let's look at the length of a research title, which is very important while writing any research title. Longer titles are inelegant. Remember, longer the title, more boring the title generally. Shorter titles may also indicate a major specific scope and can attract a higher number of views and citations, and thereby acceptance. So the average length of title seems to be strongly discipline dependent. Remember, this is important. And this is the data about length of titles. There are 1 to 5 word titles. As we can see here in this particular research data findings, actually, these are from that research paper. 1 to 5 words, there are 16. 6 to 10 words, 191 research titles in applied linguistics, education, history, mathematics, biochemistry, and engineering. So 11 to 15 word titles, you can see the numbers. And 15 plus words, again mind blowing. Total there are 845 titles in applied linguistics, education 845, equally same. 840, oh, yeah, I mean, they are equally same in these disciplines, applied linguistics, education, history, and mathematics, of course, in all the, they are equally taken. Okay. Yeah. Now, let's look at the structure of research titles. According to Hartley 2008, there are 13 different formats. It's mind boggling to know that there can be 13 different formats. Therefore, we can say that there is no one size fits all kind of title format, because it is a discipline specific, it is a research field specific, right? Yeah. So generally there are general subjects and yeah, state findings. So there are 5070 cases of either an indicative or interrogative structure for titles, identifying these as either a single sentence conveying the topic or a compound sentence comprising two parts separated by a colon or any other punctuation mark. So this is the data. There are 5070 research titles, out of which there are indicative titles which are 4,639, and there are interrogative titles which have a question as the title, 431 titles as questions, and indicative again single and compound, interrogative again single and compound, and these compound again have descriptive titles and detailed titles. Similarly, interrogative titles, and we will look at these. Okay. According to Jamali and Nigzad 2011, there are three common types: one, declarative titles, descriptive titles, and interrogative titles. As we can see here, what are these indicative titles? Let's look at a few samples. Cultural identity formation in post-colonial literature, gender representation in contemporary Indian cinema, the impact of social media on adolescent self-esteem. So these are some of the indicative titles. These are called statement forms. Okay. In sociology, we can say, I am not going to read all of these. You can read for yourself. The role of peer influence in adolescents' risk-taking behavior. Very interesting research area in social psychology. This is the title, declarative title. In education, you can see English medium instruction and student participation in higher education, one of the debatable topics. And in literature and cultural studies, trauma and memory in contemporary South Asian literature. And we have Dr. Kanifnath Kodale, who actually authored a book on the area trauma. See, these are declarative titles from literature and cultural studies. And look at some of these interrogative titles. I would like to invite your focus here. How does social media influence political opinion among young adults? What factors shape cultural identity in multilingual society like India? Can community-based education improve literacy in rural India? Of course, As you can see, out of these 5 interrogative titles, we have 4 WH questions and 1 yes or no question. And remember, whenever you are coming up with any interrogative title, it should be mostly a WH question and not least important should be given to yes or no question. Am I clear to you so far? Declarative titles and interrogative titles.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Am I going too fast or too slow? Am I making
No,
sense?
sir. Very superb, sir. Super pace. Correct
Great.
pace.
Thank you. I just want to get your feedback every 10 minutes. Please don't mind if I am asking you rhetorical questions. Bear with me. Yes.
Sir, if you don't mind, can you please explain again to the titles, compound titles, please?
No, I have not discussed compound titles. We are yet to come. So please hold on.
Okay.
We have looked at only declarative titles and interrogative titles.
Okay.
And
Okay.
single sentence titles. We are now moving to, actually it takes us now to your question of the compound titles. Okay. So there are single titles and compound titles. We looked at the single titles with both the declarative titles and interrogative titles. So these are single titles which we have already discussed, and I don't want to go deeper into these. Yeah, before we move on to, yeah, these are the compound titles. Yes. So these titles have a main title and a subtitle. Now, I'm highlighting these. I don't know if the highlight is visible to you. I guess it is. Language
sir.
anxiety. Yeah,
Visible, sir.
right. Thank you. Language anxiety in ESL classrooms. This is the main title. And there is a subtitle: causes, effects, and coping strategies. See, the main title and the subtitle. There is a colon. Therefore, it's a compound title. We call it a compound title, a title which is divided by a colon, right? Giving more detail and narrowing the focus of the research. Let's look at another title: media representation of women, a critical discourse analysis of primetime television. See how media represents women today. And this has been a debatable area, topic, research for decades together. How a woman is portrayed in television or movie or in major discourses. See, we have a compound title divided by a colon, and the main title is the first part. Always remember, focus on the first part, and the second part gives more details about the first part. Okay, what kind of study is that? It is a critical discourse analysis. It is a mixed method approach. It is a qualitative study or it is a quantitative study. See, or simply it is a study without even giving the type of research, whether mixed method or qualitative, quantitative, etc. So our in the compound title, the main title is important, and the second part of the title, which is subtitle, should be the explanatory in nature. Yeah. So I am leaving the rest of the titles for your reading. Please read quietly. I'm pausing a couple of seconds for you to read. Right. Now let's pause. So how do we come up with these titles? What are certain verbs that we should use? And when we see, these are the titles which we started with, let's say, nouns, isn't it? Now let's look at titles which start with nouns or gerunds or present participles, and how they give a different meaning. They tell us what kind of research, whether it's a qualitative research, a quantitative research, or a mixed method research, all that. Okay. Research titles starting with a verb: exploring, examining, investigating, analyzing, assessing. See, and let's look at one by one. Exploring the impact of social media on college students' mental health, and it is a burning topic today. Burning research area, a relevant research area. Exploring, meaning, is it a qualitative research or a quantitative research or a mixed method approach? And I would personally say it is a qualitative research, exploration. There you are not analyzing, there you are not testing anything, you are just exploring to see the current mental status of students of using social media. That's it. You're not analyzing why there is a downfall of a student mental health. But when you say examining the cultural identity formation among migrant youth, see, there is a cultural shift, the identity shift in the metropolitan city youth, isn't it? You look at metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Pune, sorry, Bangalore, or Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi. The youngsters, the youth has a different identity, different cultural identity, and those who are actually settled and started a family, the children particularly have different languages. Father's language is one, mother's language is another, and school language is another, and the societal language is another. See, therefore, how do we examine that? So when you examine, again, is it a qualitative work or a quantitative work or a mixed method? Are you examining? Are you analyzing? Are you exploring? So that, these are the words you should be thinking of. Okay. Next, investigating teacher perceptions of AI-assisted writing tools. This is again a very relevant research area. Now we are investigating, which means you are testing. So it has to be a quantitative research. Analyzing gender representation in contemporary Indian cinema. Again, it is a quantitative research. Assessing the effectiveness of peer feedback in academic writing classes. You're assessing, which means there has to be a pre-test, there has to be intervention, there has to be a post-test. You are trying to assess the effectiveness of peer feedback, how peer feedback enables academic writing, enables academic writing classes. So unless you test and see, we cannot come up with an outcome, a result. Therefore, it has to be a quantitative research. And probably partially, you can also bring in qualitative aspect. All right? So these are some of the verbs we use. And there could be more. I'm just touching upon a few verbs that you can always begin the research title with. And that tells the examiners or the publishers what kind of work your research paper, project, or your thesis is. Am I making sense? Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. Now let's look at a few more examples of compound research titles. Language anxiety among university students, a study of coping strategies in ESL classrooms. 2, digital literacy in higher education. Colon, understanding students' readiness for online learning. Gender stereotypes in advertising, an analysis of contemporary Indian media campaigns, social media usage patterns, exploring their influence on academic productivity, teacher feedback practices, implications for improving academic writing skills. See how compound research, titles can be developed. These are more titles. Please have a quick glance. You may skim through. Right. Yes. Any quick question on research titles before we move on to research abstracts?
Sir, how to,
Yeah.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how to write hyphenated titles?
Hyphenated research titles. I mean, this is as simple as a hyphenated sentence. So the main part of your research title should hold the key words of your research area, the research problem. The hyphenated, what comes, the subtitle should be explaining more about the keywords. Could you mute, please? There is so much disturbance. Yeah,
Maruti
please
sir,
mute.
please mute it.
Yeah, oh, again, yeah. It is as simple as colon. I mean, the two parts that are there in a compound title. Okay, it is similar. All right.
Sir, in compound, actually, in compound, we'll get clarity, sir.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, the working title, or even if it is a final title, should it include the theme we are dealing with, or it should be an overarching theme? Meaning, thereby, should it have particular keywords that is the central theme our research is dealing with, or should it be an overarching theme that we are covering?
Yeah, it should be a overarching theme if you have a tentative or working title, and if you are already clear, you read so much, you have the clarity, you got your research problem, then you can have your final keywords reflecting in your research title. Yes.
Like it should reflect the theme that our entire dissertation is covering with, rather
Yes,
than just
exactly.
using the theoretical lens, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, sir.
Right. I shall answer rest of your questions. Please hold on. Due to the lack of time, I shall now move to abstract writing. Then we will come back to Q&A, question answers. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you all. Right. Now let's move to the second part of the presentation today. It is again the abstract. As they say, don't judge a book by its cover. But here we are. We should judge a research title by its abstract. So a research title, a research paper is judged by its abstract. People don't read the entire research paper. People don't read the entire project. People don't read the entire dissertation or thesis. They read the abstract to know what kind of work is gone into your thesis or project or paper. Okay. Therefore, abstract reflects the quality of your work. So we need to definitely invest quality time in coming up with a quality research abstract. Okay. Yeah. So again, I would like to begin with an abstract on abstract writing. This is something interesting, right? Yeah. I mean, I would like everyone to read along with me, probably listen as I read this particular abstract. Probably you will get direct idea as to how to write an abstract. The abstract found at the beginning of the most journal papers, research articles, has increasingly become an essential part of the article. It tends to be the first part of any research article to be read, and to some extent, it sells the article. The selling point is in the abstract. Acquiring the skill of writing an abstract is therefore important to novice writers or prospective writers to enter the discourse community of their discipline. Based on 30 abstracts from 3 journals, the present study aims at exploring not only the rhetorical moves of abstract in the field of applied linguistics and educational technology, but also the linguistic realizations of moves and authorial stance in different abstract moves. The results show that there are 3 obligatory moves in abstracts in these 2 disciplines: presenting the research, describing the methodology, and summarizing the results. Results also indicate that a combination of certain linguistic features such as grammatical subjects, verb tense, and voice can help distinguish moves in the abstract. The findings of the study have some pedagogical implications for academic writing courses for graduate students, especially students from non-English backgrounds. And these are some of the keywords: abstracts, authorial stance, genre analysis, linguistic features, moves, and research articles. And this research abstract is taken from this particular journal, Discourse Studies, 2008, by Fung Yung Fo. Research article: Abstracts in Applied Linguistics and Educational Technology, a study of linguistic realizations of rhetorical structure and authorial stance. See the research title here. What kind of title is this? Now can someone quickly respond?
Compound.
Compound title, sir.
Compound title.
Compound.
Title, yeah, with a colon, and the main part holds the keywords. The second part is an explanatory nature for the keywords that are embedded in the main part of the title. Right. This is the source. Now, what should go into a research abstract? These are the 5 things that should go into a research. Either you start with an introduction or a background. Then you discuss research aim, methodology, results or findings, and end with implications. Okay? Yeah. And remember, there is no one size fits all abstract structure. Different disciplines, fields follow different structure. Also, different journals expect the researchers to format their abstract in a particular manner. So we are only trying to understand what should go into, in general, into abstract. Okay. Introduction. See, I'm taking words again from the abstract. The text abstract found at the beginning of more journals articles has increasingly become. So what are its features? Introduces the importance of abstract. So is it a background or introduction? What is it exactly? Establishes the context for research. And what kind of tense is used here? Present perfect tense and simple present tense has increasingly become, tends to be, is, therefore. These are the words we can find here. And what is the function of this particular part? Either background or introduction. Explains why the study is needed. Maybe the context is set. Shows the gap, research gap. Novice writers need to learn abstract writing skills. For example, all these prospective researchers who are currently listening to me probably shows the gap. Now, the aim from this particular abstract. The present study aims at exploring not only the rhetorical moves, but also the linguistic realizations. Direct statement of purpose. See? And what kind of tense is used? Uses present tense. The study aims at exploring. Right? And what is the function? Defines what exactly the study investigates. And clarifies discipline focus, applied linguistics and educational technology. Now let's look at the methodology. Based on 30 abstracts from 3 journals. It could be your research sample. It could be the type of research, mixed method, qualitative work, quantitative work, and that is the part that is covered. But in this particular research, they're highlighting the total number of abstracts that they are actually studying in this particular research, taken from 3 different journals. Yeah. And see, and passive voice is used. It shows how the study was conducted, provides credibility through data description. Number 4, discusses results or findings. The results show that there are 3 obligatory moves. The results also indicate that a combination of certain linguistic features, etc. Okay. See, the results show, the results indicate, and these are the verbs we should be using when we discuss results. Okay, and do have synonyms, better academic synonyms, academic vocabulary when you are using verbs in findings. And what kind of tense? Simple present tense again. Yes. Now the last one is implications. The findings of the study have some pedagogical implications. For whom? For academic writing courses, or maybe material designers, maybe the policy makers, right? Yeah. And what kind of tense is used again? Present tense, maybe general present tense. Have, the findings of the study have some pedagogical implications, right? Yeah. So this is the overall understanding of the structure of abstract. As we can see here, introduction explains the importance of abstract, and the aim states, or the purpose states what the study investigates, and methodology describes the data, the research scope, the sample, the context, the setting, etc. And the results presents the main findings of the research, or the conclusion or the implications. They present the practical application of research. All right. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I would like to take another abstract, and then we will again discuss quickly before we move on to question answer. Okay. Academic writing remains a significant challenge in Indonesian universities due to students' limited academic vocabulary, research skills, key writing elements, collaborative work abilities, critical thinking, and over reliance on AI. It is actually taken from a very recent Asia TEFL conference, which was held in the month of August in Hong Kong. I mean, I presented my paper in that conference in Asia TEFL conference in the University of Hong Kong a couple of months ago. So this is one of the research abstracts that I've taken to analyze right now. Academic writing remains a significant challenge in Indonesian universities due to students' limited academic vocabulary, research skills, key writing elements, collaborative work abilities, critical thinking, and over reliance on AI. This study introduces a structured syllabus designed to enhance academic writing and research skills in a project-based English course, guiding students to produce well-structured academic articles with cohesion, coherence, clarity, and objectivity. The syllabus development followed multiple stages. Initially, a survey of academic writing textbooks established the framework. Redundant elements were eliminated to improve time efficiency, and instructional design was streamlined. Assessment tools were strengthened to ensure better oversight of student progress and performance. The pilot stage identified instructional weaknesses. So sad, unfortunately, including redundant materials, AI dependency, which is very common today, low student engagement, again common problem, and inconsistent teaching methods, probably in certain contexts, no doubt. In response, the syllabus was redesigned, optimizing assessment tools and restructuring instructional components to enhance oversight and control. In the post-pilot phase, formative and summative assessments were reinforced to mitigate plagiarism and over dependence on AI. Instructional design was refined to align with learning objectives, incorporating guided supervision and structured progress checks. The syllabus now emphasizes tutorial-based supervision, standardized assessment rubrics, and systematic content monitoring to enhance efficiency and academic integrity. This revised syllabus meets the evolving demands of higher education by fostering student-centered learning, independent academic writing, and rigorous research standards. Strengthened instructional design and assessment mechanisms ensure students develop essential writing skills while maintaining high academic integrity. As I said, this article is taken from this particular Asia TEFL conference, and this is the research title, as you can see, Redefining English for Academic Writing, a project-based classroom approach to enhance student competencies in research writing. Let's look at the analysis. Maybe I would like you to read it quickly. This is the introduction, as we can see. And this is the purpose or aim of the study. The study introduces a structured syllabus. 3 here, methodology. A survey of academic writing textbooks. So there was a survey method followed, right? And these are some of the key findings, both from pilot study, also post-pilot study. How there was instructional weakness, probably the buck lies in the hands of instructors, sometimes unfortunately in some contexts, of course, and the kind of language that is used here we can see. Also,
so can you please show the first one again?
The very first one?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, background and introduction.
Yes, sir.
Please scroll up to the aim page, sir.
Sure. The aim here. Yeah, maybe those are taking screenshots, they can take quickly.
Sir, do
Could
we
you
get
please
the
share
PDF
the
of
PPT,
Could you
sir?
share this PPTs, because it will be very much helpful for the students? Could you please share?
Yeah, I think the organizing committee has the final say.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm
Thank
sure they will do the
Because
needful.
screenshots may not help us very well.
Yeah, no,
The
I'm just
connectivity.
giving. I do get it. Yeah, I understand. Yes. Right. So this is again the summary of the second analysis of the second research abstract. Yeah. Right. So as I've said, there is no one size fits all structure for abstract. All right. Now let me also give you a few guidelines or instructions as to see. I mean, so there are certain abstracts which are in 150 words, 200 words, or 200 to 250 words, or 250 to 300 words. It is again dependent on the journal, dependent on the publishers, sometimes dependent on your research guide as well, on the university at times. No, dissertation, thesis abstracts are different. I mean, at least I remember my thesis has about a 12-page abstract. Again, it is different. And it is a very detailed abstract of 12 pages, imagine. But when you write a research article or research paper, it has to be 150 words. I mean, it's very challenging to write no less number of words. We can write more, but more the concise, more the challenge level. Number two, sometimes certain abstracts do not have any citations. Certain abstracts do have 1 or 2 citations. Again, it is specific to certain journals or certain publications, against certain supervisors. As I was saying, there is no one size fits all structure for abstract. Yeah. Yes. So before I express my words of gratitude, first, see, my research journey was at the English and Foreign Languages University. I have spent almost a decade doing my master's, MPhil, PhD at a stretch. Therefore, I was blessed to meet stalwarts in English language education like Professor Padmini Shankar, my research supervisor. I am grateful to her for making me what I am today, and all other senior research professors at the English and Foreign Languages University, and my research students in different colleges, my colleagues in different places. I'm grateful to all of them for giving me all these insights that I'm able to share with the global academic family that we have today. Also, I would like to express my words of gratitude to the organizers of this particular forum for giving me this rare opportunity to interact with the promising research scholars. I definitely deem it a privilege interacting with all of you. Of course, it is very challenging to be the first resource person today. I hope I have fulfilled the expectations, both the organizers and the participants. I've tried my best. Now the time is over. I'm sorry I've taken a little extra time because they've asked me to stop before 6:50 and I've exceeded because of probably a few technical glitches. Yeah, now I don't know how much time I have for question answers. Quickly we can have with the permission of the chair or the moderator, Dr. Suvarna. I'm sorry if I.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm Swarna.
Swarna,
It's
sorry,
okay, sir.
Swarna, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Sir, thank you very much. We sincerely appreciate you for your for delivering such a valuable, constructive, and highly practical session, sir, on the title and abstract. Actually, that is a very boring topic usually, but now it's very, very interesting and very engaging, sir. And sir's insights are very, very, very important, and which are very fundamental step in research, and which are really greatly enrich our understanding and for this global academic platform. And if you have any queries, my dear participants, please ask Professor Ravi, sir.
Yeah, Professor Ravi, good evening. I am Kiranmai, and it was very insightful session. Thank you for the information shared with all of us, the knowledge we have gained. I have one question. The trending topics. While writing the abstract, we have many queries in mind. Could you just brief us how to make that abstract writing simple? For example, if I'd like to write a paper on new humanities, sir, could you just give a brief explanation of how to proceed with that kind of writing?
Ma'am, yeah, thank you for the question. A couple of things I would like to clarify. First, we need to be clear with our research area, then come up with a research title. Your title will have the keywords. From the keywords, you cull out a research problem, research gap, identify, and then you follow these 5-step structure of the abstract. Okay, in humanities, let's say the impact of social media on the youth today. So what is the background? In which background are you talking about? And then what is your research problem? And what is the purpose of your research? And what is the methodology that you are following? And then what are your possible outcomes? And what are the implications that you have? So this is how you can structure. The key here is your research problem, which comes in your, which reflects in your research title. The impact of social media on the Indian youth today. So what is your research question? What is your research aim? So research objectives. Around that, what kind of research? Is it qualitative work or a quantitative work? Are you going to check, analyze anything, explore anything? Are you going to test anything? Based on that, you can continue to write.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Professor Ravi, sir. Professor Ravi, sir.
Yes, sir.
I would like to add a little, sir.
Yeah, please.
With your permission.
Definitely, sir.
It is better to write an abstract after completing the entire research. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for now enlightening us with this point. I forgot, it skipped my memory. So please remember, abstract has to be written after we complete our PhD thesis, after we complete our research paper, then you start writing your abstract. Yes, I have missed this point. Thank you, Sudhakar, for bringing it back to us. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sudhakar Prabhakar Gari, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Sir,
sir.
good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
I'm
please
Monica,
tell
sir.
me.
One
Okay,
at a time,
Mamita madam,
please.
please
Sir,
proceed.
thank you, ma'am. Sir, I have a very small doubt.
Yes.
Recently, they are speaking about graphical abstract or pictorial abstract, sir. Can you?
Ma'am, I'm very sorry. I couldn't hear you. I'm very sorry.
Recently, they are speaking about graphical abstract or pictorial abstract. Abstract should be shown in another form.
Oh,
Can you
yes.
explain
We
it,
are
sir?
we are evolving. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Even
Yes.
the journals
Can
are
you
evolving.
explain it
Therefore,
also?
earlier we used to have the academic strict stringent academic structure that it has to be Times New Roman, it has to be italics. All this was strictly followed. But today, with the evolution of publication processes, I think those are now the latest trends, I would say, accepted.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
is it applicable to English also? And if it is applicable, is it only applicable to qualitative or any other method also?
Ma'am, it is all dependent on the journal or dependent
Journal.
on your research supervisor and dependent on what kind of academic work you are doing. If it is a
Yes.
media, let us say, in media, you
Hmm.
can present your abstract in a graphical manner, pictorial manner. There are different formats
Yes,
where
sir.
the media people can explore.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So as
Thank
you
you.
say, conditions apply.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Sir, Dhanlakshmi Rangarao here.
Yes.
Sir, I would like to know this from you, sir, and so I'm putting this question. What would
Yes.
be the best way to find the research gaps, sir?
Ma'am, the best way to find the research gap is to read related research articles. I'm using triple R. Read related research articles. Read related research articles. Triple RA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That
Apart
is the
from the
best.
literature review, do you have any hints or any
Field
help
work.
for the
Field work.
yes, field work? Okay, sir.
Field work. Go into the reality. Go
Okay,
into
sir.
the field.
Yes, sir.
Observe what is happening. Your
Yes, sir.
observations become your probable possible research gap or research problem.
Okay, sir.
Sir, one more question, Lakshmi Prasanna.
Yes.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Just yes, sir. Just kindly give us the close relation between these keywords to the abstract, sir.
Ma'am, the keywords are embedded in research title. Let's say the impact of social media on let's say exploring the real addiction of Indian youth today. Okay, exploring the real addiction of Indian youth today. And real addiction exploration. So when you say real addiction, which means there is some problem, you are trying to identify the problem. That is your research problem. And when you say exploring, you are also saying that it is a qualitative or quantitative study, or it is a mixed method approach.
Okay,
and
sir.
the context you are giving, Indian youth is the context.
Yes, sir.
See, your abstract, your title, they are very much interrelated.
How we have to select these keywords for such type of
again, ma'am, again we should go back to our research problem, research gap that can be identified through reading and through observation or the field work.
Okay, sir. Actually, my doubt is people are keeping, they are asking us to keep 5 to 7 keywords related to the abstract
Oh,
on the
you
bottom.
mean the keywords? Keywords are taken both from title and the abstract. See,
yes, sir.
the words like real addiction, 1, 2, Indian youth,
Mm-hmm.
and 3, let's say, when you say a mixed method, so you can have 2 to 3 keywords from here. You take
Okay.
your keywords mostly from your title.
Oh,
They become your keywords
okay, okay, sir. Actually,
from
what
title.
happened
And from your
nowadays?
title, those words get into your abstract. I mean, that is what they say, take from abstract. Means we are taking actually from title.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Keywords must be from title, actually, originally.
Yes.
Okay, right, sir. There is
They
a
stem
uh,
from your title.
yeah, but now, sir,
And those are from the words from title reflect in the abstract.
yes,
And they also run into your keywords section.
right, sir.
And keywords should be smaller word, I mean, not capital words, and they should not be caps. There should not be too many words, maybe 3-4 words or 5 words. Generally the publishers give you a limit.
Okay.
Good evening, sir. Shivangi this side. Thank you so much for such an amazing session and such an enlightening one too. Sir, I have 2 to 3 questions. One question is, as you said in the very start, that the core purpose of research is, and how to begin research journey is basically you should read and read a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
Sir, there is this anxiety that has come up with me recently. I am an independent scholar who is currently working on my research proposal. So what is happening with me is I do have a rough idea as to what theme I'll be exploring, the theoretical lens that I'll be using. Now every now and then when I read a research paper or I read any book, that theme clouds my memory, and I cannot think beyond that. Second of all, when I was writing research papers, I used to be full of energy and I used to have a lot of ideas, but as soon as I started reading for PhD thesis, there is some burden, you can say, or something that is overpowering me, that I'm not able to think beyond, I'm not able to get certain ideas. And I'm not that person who doesn't observe. I'm quite observant, so I have a lot of ideas when it comes to research papers, and I do have a idea for proposal as well. But it seems that I have clouded my memory. I cannot go beyond. So what do you think can be done?
Yeah, I appreciate the fact. I appreciate the fact that you have you have identified research gap, and you are clear with your research theme, and you're also ardent reader. As I said, readers are writers. Good readers are good writers. And when you read, you should always highlight the key points or write the key, of course, points for your research thesis. Okay, let not those ideas dissolve or disappear. When you
Okay.
when you read something, jot down those points before they skip your memory. That's the best way to read. Have a
Correct,
notebook
sir.
next to you. Keep jotting them down so that you have certain points. Later on, you organize those points and they will feed into your research directly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
sir.
best way you could do.
So
That's the
I
way
do
I do.
underline, like I do underline, put
No,
some
underlining
notes
is not
also.
enough. Underlining is
Okay.
not enough. Yeah, you will have to actually summarize
Write it down.
those. Yes, paraphrase, summarize those, and have a separate notebook.
Okay.
If needed, prepare a grid for your readings. So what is the name of the research article, the year of the research article, the key points, the research problem in that research article, research findings in that research article. That's what I tell my research scholars. Prepare a grid for all your readings so that it doesn't go waste. Your reading shouldn't go waste.
Okay, so I should probably start writing and scribbling rather than just underlining things here and there.
Exactly. Underline and write. Do
Yeah,
both
underline and write. Correct, sir.
simultaneously. Yes.
And sir, how to avoid, like, now that I have a theme, I just put, like, this clouds my memory. I try to find those keywords every here and there, and maybe, as you say, that like it's a when we begin a research journey, even our theme is tentative, just like a title, right? So it might get modified by the end of my research journey. So how should we keep that gap that we have in mind, and should be open to flexible, to be precise?
No, you should be focused. If
Focus,
your
right?
research area is something, your reading should be geared towards that particular focus or area. So you can't be dissipating from the main idea. So your reading should be organized in that way. As they say, there are certain reading strategies which are called as a STRAP, as an acronym, like the subject of reading, the type, etc. So as you read, find your research problem, find your research gap, find your research objectives from your readings. They should feed into your thesis. That's it.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Somebody is asking.
Excuse me, sir. As far as my knowledge is concerned, there is no independent research as such. We always get ideas from somebody, and we build on that. That is what the solution for this stumbling into that
Literature review.
literature review. Yeah, that lady is asking, no? She will be clouded by memories and all.
Yeah.
There is no
No,
independent
ma'am. I
research as
think
such.
ma'am is doing it, pursuing it independently. She doesn't have maybe any companion.
No. What
So
she
that
means is she has not registered in any university, and she is doing her research independently. So that's what she's trying to say, I guess. I mean, if I got
Yeah,
her
yeah,
right.
ma'am.
Yes,
I am an independent research scholar who is like preparing research proposals so as to get admission into
Perfect. Yeah. No, we have got you. We have got you. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sir, good evening, sir. Good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
I am Sara, sir.
Yes.
Sir, generally, when we thought of attending any conference, the very first information we are getting that we need to submit abstract.
Yes.
After approving the abstract, we need to send a full paper. So I heard and I agree with you that at the end of paper, I mean, like completion of all the steps in the paper, you have guided us to write abstract at the end. But what about like conferences and all, when they asked us to send, can we revise?
Same, ma'am. Ma'am, it is same.
It is same.
It is same, exactly same structure that should go into your abstract, either for a conference or a research publication or a thesis. Everything is same.
Yes, sir. Some conferences, they are mandatory, they are conveying mandatory to submit abstract. After accepting the abstract, they are asking us to complete the paper, sir.
Yes. So in this case, generally we write abstract first, then we do the full paper. Contrary to what we were trying to say, that abstract should be written at the end of our work, either thesis or research paper. But for conferences, yes, you are right. They ask us to write the abstract based on the abstract. And some people actually do the work and then send a paper. There are some people who only start with a conference call for papers, send an abstract. If it is accepted, then I start my work. Both the ways it is possible.
But as you have guided us, instructed us, for the thesis, it is always the best work that we should complete at the end abstract.
Yes,
right,
absolutely.
Sir? Thank you so much for enlightening me, sir.
Pleasure, ma'am.
So Dhanlakshmi again, sir. Sir,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just wanted to know the abbreviation for the triple R. I've been waiting for so long.
Oh, I already gave.
Yeah, yes, sir. That is read, research, and review and rejournal.
Great, wonderful.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for all your inputs. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else has any other query?
Good evening, sir. I'm Kartika, research scholar from Kalasalingam University. I have a small doubt, sir. In abstract, recently I have studied an article, they have mentioned the subtitle also. They have included the subtitle also. Is it necessary for abstract to include the aim of the study and then the methodology that they are going to apply, then the result? Should we give the subheading in the abstract section?
No.
There is no necessary.
No, not necessary, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And then one more doubt, sir. In many of the articles and in some of the theses also, that they are saying you have to stick on to whether the American English or British English, they are saying. Should we follow it strictly? But recently in your session also, I have come across many more words realized, analyzed by using that American English, not British. So is it necessary, sir, to stick on to the British spelling alone throughout the thesis? Or
Yeah.
the American, which one? Or you just clarify me that doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest to follow one pattern, either British English or American English.
Yes, sir.
Either of it is okay, acceptable. Again, dependent on what your supervisor says or, sorry, what your university norms are.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
They are expecting only British English alone, sir.
Then let's stick to British English. Either spellings or grammatical structures also differ depending.
Yes, sir. For example, the word behavior, we have to add OU or not O.
Not just spellings, even grammatical structures like SVO order also sometimes is crazy in certain types of Englishes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ravi, sir.
Good evening, sir. Excuse me, sir. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Sir, one request, sir, from my side. If you don't mind, could you please kindly share your mail ID so that myself or other participants, if we could ask our doubts or whatever it is, can we contact you through mail? Further, we will quote that we are from IIT WW and we'll just ask you regarding research. Please, could you share your ID and please respond to our mail, sir?
I don't mind giving my details. They're already there. I think with the organizers, my mail ID, my phone number also, I don't mind sharing. My contact details are with the organizers. Probably they can share. Now I don't know how I could share with you. Probably the organizers will help you.
Okay, sir. It is not very urgency, sir, but we are under process building our projects.
No,
So
I
any
understand,
doubts we can
yes.
ask you now, sir. That's why. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you all. Now we'll move to end the session. Sir, Ravi, sir, is it okay?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Yeah, we are done. Actually, we
And
have
we'll
exceeded
also,
the time.
yeah, we'll also share SAR's contact number and all. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay,
Now,
on behalf of the International Intensive Thesis Writing Workshop organizers, I express my profound thanks and gratitude to you, sir. Really, it is a very difficult task for the scholars to select a title, and you made it very easy with your suggestions. We should read more. Good readers are good writers. The more we read, we have to explore the research area. And we remember always the quotation, sir, you highlighted, no? Don't judge a book by its cover page, but judge a research article by its title.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you once again. Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Ravi, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Now I request Dr. Swarnasri Madam to give a brief introduction of our second speaker, Madam.
Sri Ranjani, ma'am. Okay, sir. It is my privilege to introduce an eminent academic leader, a distinguished researcher, a transformational trainer, and a dynamic mentor, Dr. D. Sri Ranjani Mokshagundam. Dr. Sri Ranjani, Madam, brings with her a remarkable legacy. She is the great-granddaughter of Bharat Ratna Sir Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya, one of India's greatest engineers and visionaries. Yes, ma'am. We really truly appreciate Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya garu. True to this lineage, she embodies excellence discipline, and innovation in every sphere of her work. Academically, she is exceptionally accomplished, holding an MBA, a PhD in management, and a prestigious postdoctorate from Institute for Social and Economic Change. Somebody is talking. Okay. She currently serves as a professor of management at BGSB School, Bangalore, and is recognized a research supervisor at the University of Mysore, guiding scholars toward meaningful, socially relevant, and industry-aligned research. Dr. Sri Ranjani is an international mentor for 12OR, and her influence extends beyond classrooms to global academic and professional platforms. Her expertise is multi-dimensional. She is a certified soft skills and corporate trainer, certified POSH practitioner, and trainer. Madam? NLP practitioner?
I have to do. Yes.
May I speak? May I continue?
I don't know all these things, Shabana. Please complete up your own everything.
Hello. Please mute your audio.
I request the participant to mute. I request the participant to mute. Madam, please continue.
Thank you, sir. She's a certified soft skills and corporate trainer, certified POSH practitioner and trainer, NLP practitioner, life coach, and a German language educator. She also holds PG diplomas in soft skills and career counseling, reflecting her deep engagement with human development and holistic learning. Her linguistic proficiency, especially her advanced diploma in German, equivalent to a 4-year degree, further highlights her commitment to global communication and intercultural competence. Over the past 13 years, Dr. Sri Ranjani has served in diverse leadership and academic roles: principal, professor, research supervisor, trainer, counselor, chairperson, keynote speaker, resource person, and panelist. She has been invited to deliver talks and sessions at numerous national and international conferences, FDPs, seminars, and workshops, influencing thousands of learners, educators, and professionals. Her scholarly contributions are equally impressive. She has authored and co-authored research papers, textbooks, edited volumes, anthologies, and patents, and serves on the editorial boards of reputed Indian and international journals, upholding the highest standards of research integrity and academic excellence. As a dynamic educator and an empathetic mentor, she is known for nurturing confidence, unlocking human potential, and inspiring personal and professional growth. She is a lifelong learner who truly embodies innovation, intellect, leadership, and service, carrying forward a legacy that continues to inspire the academic and corporate world alike. Madam Sri Ranjani, Madam, we are really honored to have you with us today. Now the screen is now yours. Madam, please over this session to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swarna ma'am, for that gracious introduction. Hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you. All right. I welcome each one of you to this international intensive thesis writing workshop organized by Government Degree College Autonomous Narsanpet Warangal, SKVT Government Degree College Rajamahendravaram East Godavari, in association with Edument2U and powered by Sharayu, EduPro and Venkat's Time. I hope you all are feeling energized after the previous session. Are we ready to continue with the same enthusiasm?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes,
Ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you so much. And this session's discussion is centered on a very crucial aspect of research, that is choosing the right research problem, how to identify, and its relevance. So when I speak about this topic, this forms the foundation of any successful thesis. Because a well-defined research problem, it not only guides your study, but also it determines its significance as well as impact. See, in today's session, we shall explore how to identify a research-worthy problem. Let us ensure its relevance and align with your academic as well as professional goals. All right? Okay. Build a strong foundation, the power of your research problem. So let us begin by understanding that every great thesis truly begins with a strong research problem. I hope you all agree with that. So you can just imagine it like the roots of a tree. So just imagine if the roots are weak, no matter how beautifully its branches grow, the tree won't stand tall for long. Correct? So similarly, if the foundation of your research, that is the problem, if at all it is not strong, your entire study can definitely lose its direction. So your research problem, whatever you choose, it determines the quality, scope, and contribution of your thesis. Means it sets the tone for everything that follows. Your objectives, your methodology, analysis, and even your findings. Suppose if at all your problem statement is vague, let us say, means your entire research journey, it becomes like sailing without a compass. I agree there will be lots of movement, but we do not know what is the clear destination at all. Understanding? It's a well chosen problem. It helps you to define what exactly you want to explore, explain, or resolve. See, whether it is improving the employee engagement in HR, or trying to reduce the carbon emissions in engineering, or trying to develop some sustainable business models in management. Clarity at this stage is what is going to ensure there is relevance as well as value in the work what you do. Next, let's be practical. See, choosing the wrong problem can be frustrating. See, you may find yourself collecting data endlessly without any purpose. Or you may have to revise your objectives multiple times. Or even you may realize too late that your topic is lacking any sort of originality, or it does not have any kind of practical importance. See, I know many research scholars go through this. See, I don't say this is because they lack effort, but because their starting point was not right. Got my point? So yes, by now we all have briefly understood that choosing a research problem wisely is both an art as well as science. Why do I say this? The art, it lies in your creativity and curiosity. Means as a researcher, you are spotting something interesting, something unique, or even something that is socially relevant. Why do I call this as a science? Because the science lies in your logic, in your evidence, as well as the systematic evaluation of whether that idea, whatever you have, can it be realistically studied or not. So in short, I would like to say, your research problem is your North Star. Means it is guiding your academic journey. I would like to say, please get that right, and half your research battle is already won. Okay. Hope my pace is fine. Am I too fast?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am,
It's
going
all
well.
right, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
No, ma'am.
Okay. We just understood how the research problem forms the foundation of your thesis. Correct. Now let us move to the next step. Means defining what actually drives your research. So respected audience, please let us know what is your concept of when I tell you research problem. So what is your understanding of research problem? You can just unmute yourselves and you can please share your thoughts with us. If I say this word research problem, so what is your understanding of that?
That is a cardinal point that we have been discussing and that we are going to discuss.
Yeah, that's true, ma'am. But what is your understanding? So how do you
Ma'am,
define a research problem as?
Ma'am, can we define like this? What is the research that, what is the problem you are looking into?
Yeah, in simple words, yes, definitely, ma'am.
Ma'am,
What is
research
that you are going to
problem.
address?
And what is yet
What
to
is
be
that you
known?
are going to address about?
Ma'am,
Correct.
maybe based on the review of the literature which is present, after we do the review related to what topic we choose on the proper topic, which defines what we want to study on. If, once we review, then there would be one gap, maybe filling that gap, that would be the research problem. Maybe that is what I understand.
Yes.
Research gap.
Research problem, for example, if we have selected a title for our study and the issue is unresolved, and that is a problem which we are addressing and trying to solve that, then that is the research problem of our paper.
Correct.
Research problem is the main issue, question, or gap that your research wants to study and solve.
Yes. So as simple as that. So to put all your inputs together, a research problem is nothing but the gap in knowledge or the question that needs to be answered. Correct. So it's that one thing that makes you pause and think, why is this happening? Why is something happening? Or what if we could find a better way to solve this? Okay. See, a strong research problem does not come from what is already well established. Okay. Instead, please understand it emerges from what is not known, what remains unclear, or where existing studies are showing some sort of conflicting findings. Say, for example, if 10 papers say that AI, artificial intelligence, it improves employee productivity, but a few papers, it argues that it increases stress. Now, do you find that there is a gap worth for you to explore? Are you understanding it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Correct. Now, as we just discussed in the previous slide, your research problem acts as the core theme around which everything else revolves. As I told you, your objectives, hypothesis, variables, and even your research design. It is something like the spine of your study. So without it, your research body cannot stand straight. That's the point. Now, let us take the example on the slide. Now, before I explain this, let me quickly ask you, do you think this is a well-defined research problem? We see here the research problem. Or do you think it is still too broad or too narrow? What is your understanding?
Madam, employee turnover means on what? On what you are speaking about, you know? Why are millennials leaving IT companies within 2 years? It's like a question, right?
Yeah.
It's a question form, but in 2 years of joining. Ma'am, I feel like it's too small.
Okay. Okay. So what about others? What do you think?
Employee turnover is a broad
vague.
topic, but the problem is narrowed down.
It's
Now,
more
in this
like
problem, we are speaking only about millennials leaving IT company. So it exactly defines our problem.
Correct. So let us slowly dissect this. See, the broad topic is just employee turnover. As the ma'am was telling, I'm sorry, I'm not getting the names here. It is just showing your initials. I'm extremely sorry for not calling you by names. Now, if I say employee turnover, that's too general. It can apply to any industry, as ma'am was telling us, any industry, any region, or any age group. Am I right? But when you narrow it down to a specific problem, why are millennials leaving IT companies within 2 years of joining? Suddenly, your research is becoming focused, relevant, and actionable. Now, you can design your study around that particular problem. You can start exploring possible causes, maybe something like the workplace culture, leadership style, or career growth opportunities. Just an example. See, you might even compare Indian IT firms with global ones. so that it just adds to a richer perspective. So please remember, your research problem should drive your entire study. If someone asks you, what is your research about? What do you say? Your answer should immediately reflect the issue you are trying to solve. So defining your research problem is something like setting your GPS before you start your journey. We do that, correct? Then only you can explore creatively, but you will always know where you are headed. Correct? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Respected participants, let me ask you an important question. Why does choosing the right problem matters so much? Please tell me.
If I want to
It's
answer
like
this,
finding the location, ma'am. Without knowing the location, we will definitely end up in a different location.
Okay.
maybe
Without
because
problem, it can
so the problem basically we
research
are
is
doing
not
a
the
research to bring
solution.
out a positive impact to the society. So if the problem itself is not in a right place, so maybe the end result will not be as effective as expected.
Definitely.
Ma'am, can we say like that? Is it the problem that the society is facing, and do we get the solution out of it? You know, is it the right problem to address?
Yes, ma'am.
From the generation to the generation, though it is the same problem, but handle the way next generation people are handling is a bit of variation to one generation to the other generation, ma'am. So we can find out, we can input some new techniques to come out of the situation.
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. So why does choosing the right problem matters so much means the answer is very simple, as you all told me. It is because your research problem decides the direction as well as the depth of your entire study. Just imagine if you are planting a tree, you can also compare your research problem to the seed. If at all the seed, whatever you are trying to, so it is very. I request the participants to please mute yourselves.
I request the participants, please mute your audios.
If at all the seed, whatever you want to sow, is weak or if it is unsuitable, the tree will never grow strong, no matter how much care, water, or even sunlight you give to it. Correct? So, when you choose a strong and relevant problem, it gives your research a clear direction. You know exactly where to go, what to study, and how deep to dig. Say, for instance, if you are a student in environmental science, you can start broadly with climate change. But slowly, what you have to do, you have to narrow it down to something like this. I'm just giving an example. Evaluating the impact of rooftop gardens on reducing heat islands in urban cities. Just an example. Now, your work becomes specific or it is narrowly scoped. It is executable, plus it is meaningful. Understanding? So secondly, the right problem ensures academic significance. Somebody was trying to tell me about this point. Means it adds something new to the existing knowledge. See, your study should contribute to the growing body of literature, even if it is in a small way, no problem. Say, for example, if you are a psychology scholar and you want to explore something on the impact of screen time on adolescent empathy. And see, you are not just repeating the old data, but you are updating it for the digital age. Just now, some ma'am was also trying to explain us the same thing. So that's how you make your research relevant to the current realities. Third thing is a good research problem ensures practical value. Means it does not just sit on a shelf. It solves a real world issue. So just think of a public policy researcher who is trying to study why rural entrepreneurship programs fail to sustain women-led businesses. So that's not just theory. It can also influence how government schemes will be designed in the future, isn't it? Next, your choice also impacts your research design, data collection, and analysis. See, if your problem is too broad, your data will be scattered. Suppose if it is too narrow, means you have to struggle, you cannot find enough evidence at all. But when it is really well balanced, your methodology it just flows naturally and it becomes a well conducted symphony instead of something like a random noise. Okay. And here is something every scholar should remember. See, a well chosen research problem, it attracts your supervisor's interest, reviewer approval, and publication potential. See, even as a research supervisor, and I'm also a reviewer of many national and international journals, I would say that reviewers and even editors are always, we are drawn to the studies which will address a timely, original, as well as relevant problems only. Say, for instance, in the recent years, we have topics like AI ethics in healthcare decisions or economic psychology of digital payments. All of them, I'm just giving the examples. These sort of topics, they have gained attention because they are both academically rich as well as they are socially urgent. Similarly, you can take examples in the field of education. See, researchers are exploring the impact of VR, virtual reality based learning on student engagement and retention. And even in environmental management, studies are happening on circular economy practices in small manufacturing firms. All of them, they are receiving significant attention, especially for their global relevance as well as for the sustainability impact. Don't you all think so? So, choosing the right research problem is your first big decision as a research scholar. And please understand it, this can only make or break your research success. It's not just about picking any one topic, but it is all about finding a purpose. All right? Are we clear so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Now, let us look at what makes a research problem truly good or strong. See, there are certain key qualities that separate an ordinary research topic from a powerful one. Now, let us go through them one by one. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ranjani ma'am, your voice is audible. Please proceed.
Am I audible? Okay. It was just showing some connection problem. All right. So clarity, first thing. Clearly stated and specific. See, your research problem, till now, whatever we discussed, it must be crystal clear. Anyone who reads it should immediately understand what exactly you are investigating. Say, for example, if you say a study on online education, what do we understand? Can you make it or can you give a clearer problem statement, something like this? I'm just giving an example. Assessing the impact of AI-enabled learning platforms on student performance in higher education institutions. Do you see the difference between just study on online education and the problem statement I just gave you?
Yes,
Understand
ma'am.
it?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
first one is
The
just vague.
the first one is
Correct.
somewhat generalized. Yes, ma'am. Second one
Correct,
is
ma'am.
somewhat narrow. It's gripping.
Exactly. First one is vague, and the second one gives direction as well as focus. Hope you all agree with me on this. Then researchability.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Researchability means, can it be explored using scientific methods or not? See, a strong research problem must be something you can systematically investigate using data, evidence, and analysis. It is not just based on your or my personal opinions or any sort of abstract ideas. Say, for example, if I ask you a question, why are people dishonest? What do you say? Don't you think this is too broad, or it is something like philosophical? So, but if I frame the question like this, what factors influence unethical behavior in corporate decision making? Don't you think the second question, whatever I am asking, is researchable? Yes? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Instead of just asking why are people dishonest, what can you answer, or what can I give you the answer as? So it's like too broad. The discussion can just go on for hours. Suppose if I frame it like this, what factors are influencing unethical behavior in corporate decision making? That is researchable, because you can study it maybe using surveys, you can conduct interviews, or you can go through the organizational records, and the data is measurable. Does that make sense? Okay. Then originality. Does the research problem you are evaluating, is it offering something new, or is it at least challenging the existing understanding? Means a good research problem should contribute something fresh to the field, to your respective fields. Whether it may be by filling a clear gap, or questioning an already established assumption, or applying an existing theory maybe in a new context. Say, for example, if you are a marketing scholar, you can study how neuromarketing cues influence Gen Z's purchasing decisions on social media. One of my scholars is exactly doing some study on this. I say this is original because it is combining neuroscience based marketing, means a specific generational cohort, and a modern digital platform. This is what is making it new, relevant, as well as timely. Wouldn't you agree on that? Okay. Then feasibility.
Yes, ma'am.
Means whatever you have chosen, is it doable within time, cost, and resource limits? See, you might have the world's most fascinating problem, like how Director SS Rajamouli imagines, correct? The most fascinating thing. But if at all it needs the budget of Bahubali or Triple R, if our research, if it needs NASA level funding, National Aeronautics and Space Administration of US of A, if it needs that level of funding, or if it needs, say, some 10 years of data collection, is it feasible for a thesis? Not at all. Correct? Is this sounding correct to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely. So, a good research problem is one you can complete with the resources you have. If you are a psychology student and if you are studying something on stress management, you can focus on college students instead of employees worldwide. Okay, because we are considering time, cost, as well as the resources which are available with us as researchers. Because if we consider college students, that is feasible, that is realistic as well. Correct? Then relevance. Does your research truly matter? See, a meaningful research problem should have real value. Means it must contribute to the field excuse me, either by advancing theory, or say improving some professional practice, or even giving some support to the or supporting some informed policy decisions. Say, for example, in public administration, if you take a topic something like this, evaluating the effectiveness of e-governance initiatives in improving citizen transparency. I think this is highly relevant because it strengthens academic understanding. Also, it is providing insights that policymakers can directly use to improve their governance. So, when your research problem carries this kind of practical as well as theoretical importance, it is going to create genuine impact. I think we all can agree on that, right?
100%, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then ethical. See, ethics in research is non-negotiable, and it applies to both people and animals. See, your study must always protect the dignity, rights, and privacy of all the participants in your study. See, for humans, this means you cannot put anyone in distressing situations. That means anything that could cause them emotional, mental, or physical discomfort. And that too without taking their informed consent. And you must maintain confidentiality of their personal or organizational data, whatever you have collected. And also special care must be taken with vulnerable population. So audience who comes under vulnerable populations? Who do we consider as vulnerable population?
Maybe someone who is weak or some population which is ignored.
Ma'am, maybe marginalized
Marginalized people.
communities.
Marginalized people.
Yeah, marginalized means maybe poor and in some castes also,
Yes.
like
Ma'am,
SC,
just
ST.
like Spivak says that women are doubly marginalized, sometimes due to gender, sometimes because of class.
Madam Vandana, and she says triply marginalized.
Yeah, Vanna ma'am says triply marginalized, correct.
The subaltern people is better to.
Subaltern. Yeah, subaltern.
Correct. So, special care must be taken with such kind of population. Not only these people, including children, elderly individuals, pregnant women, or even differently abled persons, or patients who have some serious illnesses or some sort of psychiatric conditions, or people like, as you told, economically or socially disadvantaged groups, institutionalized persons such as prisoners or those who are in care facilities, or even the marginalized communities. So why we call them as vulnerable population? Because these groups may have limited capacity to provide fully informed consent, or they may be at higher risk of harm. Now, as researchers, you must ensure their participation is voluntary, informed, as well as safe. Suppose this is for humans. Suppose if you are using animals. See, ethical research here means it requires humane treatment. Means you should avoid any sort of unnecessary pain or suffering, and you should follow proper guidelines to take care of the animals, their housing, as well as feeding them. So ethical research is about respecting all living beings who are involved in your study, and also ensuring your study does no harm to them. Okay. So finally, your research problem should be something you can measure or you can observe in the real world. See, a strong problem, it allows you to collect solid evidence that can either support or it can challenge your assumptions or your hypothesis. Say, for example, if you are a finance researcher, you can explore the impact of ESG, environmental, social, and governance ratings, maybe on the stock performance in emerging markets. Do you think this is measurable? I said the impact of ESG ratings on stock performance in emerging markets. Audience, do you think this study is measurable?
It's very vast, ma'am.
Is it not? Okay. Vast, okay. But what about the research problem, whatever we have chosen here? I said the impact of ESG ratings on stock performance in the emerging markets. Can we measure this at least?
The quality of the measurement, it'll be a question mark here and there, and it keeps changing.
Okay, that is about.
frequently. So maybe the data we acquire during the research may definitely differ by the time the results are produced.
Okay. You
Ma'am,
said about. Yes, ma'am.
can generate verifiable data here means the data must be authentic, madam. It is sometimes like no people do manage the data, right? The according to how we want to get results. Sometimes we know how to manipulate the data, but that shouldn't be done. When you are taking the data, represent the data as it is, and then it should be when we are taking from primary resources, then we can put when they ask about our questionnaires, or when we put it into the Google Forms, it is more authentic. Like I feel this generate verifiable data. I understand like this.
Yeah, ma'am.
Thank you,
As
ma'am.
you rightly said, suppose if we are genuinely doing this research, this is measurable. Why? Because you can analyze the ESG scores. You can analyze the stock returns, the financial indicators, as well as the market data using the quantitative methods. Ma'am was speaking about the qualitative methods, but using quantitative methods, definitely this is measurable. And I wanted to tell you that the results are not based on opinion. They are based on observable evidence. Correct? Making some sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So respected
Yes, ma'am.
audience, yeah. So please understand, a strong research problem, it is a thoughtful blend of curiosity, clarity, as well as practicality. So it should spark your intellectual interest. Also, there must be alignment. It should align well with the time, the resources, whatever you have. And it should also offer meaningful value to your academic or to your professional field. See, when your research problem, it meets all these criteria, you are not just choosing a topic, but you are identifying a winning research idea that actually has the power to create real impact. Okay? Yeah. I hope we have understood what makes a good research problem. The next question is, where do you think strong research problems come from? Audience, just take a moment and think about it. Where do you think strong research problems come from?
From our daily life experiences, ma'am. Can we go like that?
Correct. Yes,
When
ma'am.
we look into
It is
daily
definitely
life
one of the
experiences,
sources.
or else the thesis we were looking forward. Like suppose I want to do on certain topic as such, and when I look into the thesis where a similar type of research is done, then we can go to their results and we can see the result and then analyze, and what can be further suggestions will be given, and then we can pick up from there also some of our topics
Okay. If you
if they
find a gap,
are. Yeah.
if you find a gap from that particular thesis, whatever they have seen,
Yeah.
from the existing literature, from whatever the
Yes.
future studies so they have given, future directions, from there you can pick a topic. Correct.
Yes.
What about
I earned it from my own teaching experience inside the classrooms, and mostly from the scope for the research from the journals and writings of other thesis, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. And what about others? Is it just from books and journals, or from the challenges you face at work, as ma'am rightly said? Or is it just from the social trends or policies? What do you all think? Others?
Ma'am, by observing the society, by understanding the mindsets around people, collaborating more with your peers to understand what they're exactly thinking, what the current trends actually are, what they think about particular situations. So this helps me brainstorm ideas and get new ideas, and basically that is how I come up with something new each time.
Correct, correct. Your name is Shivangi, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I am Shivangi Gandhi.
Okay, fine. So let us explore the main sources from which a strong research problems often emerge. First thing is existing literature. As ma'am was rightly previously telling us, this is often something like the richest and most reliable starting point. when you carefully review the past studies, you begin to notice the patterns, the areas other researchers have not yet explored, or if there are any contradictions in the findings, or any clear recommendations for future research from others' works. So these are definitely the powerful clues that help you to identify the meaningful research gaps. Say, for example, in sociology, maybe the studies on urban migration, it may end with a note. I'm just giving an example. So a study on urban migration, it might end with a note something like this. Future research should examine the mental health impacts on migrant youth. So this is practically a ready-made research problem waiting for your systematic investigation. Similarly, in agriculture, if previous studies on sustainable farming, if it is highlighting, future research should explore the effects of biofertilizers on crop yield in arid regions. So this is again signaling a specific, well-defined gap. And that gap becomes a strong researchable problem to you. So when you read literature with this lens, you are not just gathering information, but you are discovering opportunities to contribute something new and valuable to your respective fields. All right. Then somebody was telling us practical experience. Definitely. So real world challenges are powerful sources of research problems. See, not all the problems it comes from journals or reports. Many arise from what we see, what we experience, or what we struggle within our professional environments. So these everyday issues, excuse me, they often point to areas. Is my screen visible? Audience?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay. So such kind of everyday issues, they often point to the areas that urgently need investigation and improvement. Say, for example, if it is in healthcare, maybe a hospital administrator who is noticing that there is repeated delays in patient discharge. He or she may be inspired to research something about like this. How can workflow processes be optimized to reduce hospital stay times? So this kind of study directly addresses a real operational challenge, isn't it? So similarly in education, if at all, if you are a school principal and you observe that students consistently they are underperforming in online assessments. Now this could spark a study on something like this, effective strategies to enhance student engagement and learning outcomes in virtual classrooms. So these practical experiences are not just highlighting the problems, but they reveal opportunities, especially for meaningful applied research that can improve the systems, policies, and even practice. Then we have policy gaps. See, most of the times, policies, they may look complete on a paper, but often they leave gaps or they create some sort of unintended consequences. Now, identifying and studying these gaps, it can lead to research that is not just academically valuable, but also that is socially impactful. Suppose if you are a public policy scholar, you can investigate on how do current urban housing policies fail to meet the needs of low-income migrant workers. Just an example. So this shines a light on overlooked communities, and it also exposes gaps which are there in policy design and implementation. Or if you are doing research on transportation and urban planning, if you are a researcher, you can examine on something like this. How do existing public transit policies fall short in providing safe and accessible options for differently abled commuters? So this reveals critical concerns around inclusivity, infrastructure planning, and even equitable mobility, isn't it? So when you explore policy gaps, that means you are not just analyzing the documents, you are generating research that can influence reforms, that can guide decision making, and it can also definitely improve the lives. Correct? Then we have emerging social trends. See, new behaviors and shifts in the society, it uncovers some fresh challenges that deserves your research attention. Have you come across any? Can you name a few new trends that are worthy of researching? Anybody? We are discussing about the emerging social trends. If you have come across any such
The
sort
impact
of
of web series in the current youth, they are getting very influenced with it.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. You want to do a study on that. Others?
Ma'am, e-business does all the e-business reachable to the customers? Are they able to do that?
Okay.
Especially on madam, refunding, no? Refunding the cash, no?
Okay.
If we cancel it, no, they give the refund, but at sometimes, there is a lot of time is taken to
Correct.
refund. Yes. Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
Amazon and all, or Amazon India is that certain e-commerce groups are doing it very well, but comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, few platforms they do not have proper the channels to do that. Correct.
Ma'am, Blue Humanities, Oceanic Studies, Digital Humanities, these are all recent trends.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Others? So not only these, we are witnessing changes such as sorry, ma'am.
Madam, Gen Z behavioral patterns.
Correct.
Especially in regard to education.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good research problem. Yes.
Ma'am, can we go look into ChatGPT, ma'am? While if we give any problem to the youngsters, like for example, for BTech students, if we ask them to write any topic on formal letter or an informal letter as such, they just go to ChatGPT, download it, and then they write, they copy it and paste and bring the assignment, but they do not learn, right?
Correct.
Then when we give it, so the assignment is given well presented, but when it comes to writing the exam, no madam, they were unable to perform it. All right, that also should be looked into. How about this AI and AI and ChatGPT? Are they really bringing progress in academics or in evaluation? That I feel that is something, a very genuine problem to be addressed as of right now.
Yeah. As Kiranmay ma'am rightly said, we can research on AI ethics. That is definitely a trending topic. We are witnessing changes such as remote work. There is lots of climate anxiety, or somebody was telling us about the influencer driven consumer choices. All of them, they are creating new questions that we as researchers can explore. Suppose if you are into sports science, as a researcher, you can examine something like this. How do wearable fitness trackers influence the training motivation and performance among the amateur athletes? So this aligns with the rapidly growing trend of self-quantification and fitness technology. So likewise, if we consider tourism and hospitality, as a researcher, you can investigate something like this. How does rising awareness of sustainable travel influence the tourist destination choices and their hotel preferences? So, what I'm trying to tell you is this is capturing the shift towards eco-conscious consumer behavior, and also it helps the industry to adapt to the changing expectations. So when you study the emerging trends, you are not just observing the society, but you are documenting the future before it becomes the mainstream. Then conferences and seminars. See, attending academic or industry events, it definitely exposes you to new themes, hot debates, and even some sort of unresolved questions. See, often if you have some sort of casual discussion also at a conference or even at a workshop like this, it can definitely spark your next research idea. Don't you all think so? So that's why we need to have such sort of sessions, such kind of sessions. And finally, please don't underestimate the value of guidance. See, experienced researchers and supervisors can point you towards problems that are novel, feasible, and relevant. Sometimes don't neglect their insight. These sort of expert suggestions, it can save months of your time. It can save months of your trial and error method. So please understand, research problems are everywhere. And now your job as a researcher is to spot them, refine them, and turn them into a structured study that adds value academically plus practically. Okay? Now let's look at how to systematically identify a research problem. And let us take one simple example. Do you want me to give any topic or will you give anything? Or I just remembered something about telemedicine. So can we take a topic like this? Telemedicine adoption among elderly patients in rural areas. Okay. Point number 1. Step 1. Start with a broad area of interest. Suppose you are interested in public health and how technology is changing healthcare. Now that becomes your open area. That means we are considering telemedicine or digital health. Step number 2. What you do? You conduct a preliminary literature review. Now, before deciding on anything, check what the existing research is saying. See, you might quickly notice that most studies are talking only about the urban telemedicine users and the technical features. But hardly anyone explores the elderly patients in rural areas. That's why it just sparked my mind. Now, if you have observed this observation already tells you that there is something here worth exploring. Correct? Understanding? Audience?
Ma'am, may I interrupt, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, ma'am, please.
Ma'am, here, this was exactly my previous question also.
Yeah.
Here, conduct a preliminary literature.
Hello? Ma'am, you are on mute, I guess.
Hey, ma'am. Ma'am, this was my question exactly in the previous session also. We as researchers, we give our heart and soul, arriving at finding what is in the contemporary notion, what is required or what is the need of the hour. But my question or my doubt here is, how are we going to arrive at the point, but this is going to be the ultimate search for a researcher? What is the point that we have to believe in that and start our research on? Please, yeah, I need a clarity, ma'am.
Would anybody like to answer this? Ma'am, can you just repeat the question?
Ma'am.
Because we already discussed about. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. There is nothing like this is the ultimate. Nothing is like that. Are we going in a directly to the problem, and how far we were able to do it? How authentically we are looking into it, and how we are reaching into the problem, as Madam said. And then what are the results? What are the results going to be as results as it is? Are we representing them? I think that is done, but there is nothing like there is an ultimate something. This is the ultimate one like that. It will be one of it, but not the best. Like, yeah. Thank you.
Ma'am, every domain has a problem. So first of all, we have to take up the interesting area, and we have to select the interesting area, and then we can try to identify the problem, and you have to go for that literature review. Then really and where actually the problem is, we can be identified and we can move on accordingly.
Yes, Swarna ma'am, you are right. So, ma'am, Dhanlakshmi ma'am, we just discussed the same thing in the previous slide. So, if at all, when we were discussing about the sources, see, to determine whether is this only the truly the research problem, you can verify against a few criterias. Say there must be clear gap in knowledge. Means the issue must represent something that is not yet fully explored, or it is not yet been explained by other researchers, or it has not yet been resolved in the existing literature. First thing. Next thing, it must be specific and well defined. See, our research problem is not vague or broad. This is what we have been discussing since an hour. It should point to a precise issue that needs investigation, and it should not be just like a general topic area. Third thing you should see, is it researchable with the available methods? See, the problem must be something that can be studied systematically using data, analysis, as well as established research methods. Then it should also address a question that matters, maybe to the theory, practice, policy, or even to the society. See, if at all you're solving such kind of problem, definitely it adds value, or it just advances knowledge. Then we can understand it is a valid research problem. Then we also discussed it must be feasible within your constraints. You must be able to investigate it within your time, resources, your expertise, as well as within your institutional requirements. So you can call it a research problem only when it clearly identifies a gap, it is specific, it is researchable, it is relevant, as well as it is feasible. If it meets all these criteria, then yes, this is the actual research problem and you can go ahead with the same.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Hope we are clear so far.
Yes, ma'am. Crystal clear.
Okay, ma'am. So let's continue with the same telemedicine example. 2 steps are done. So the observation has already told us there is some gap here. We have to explore this because this has not been explored in the elderly patients in rural areas. Then in the step 3, what do we do? Identify gaps or contradictions. As you read more and more, you are likely to find some conflicting findings, definitely. See, some studies say that older adults readily accept telemedicine, and others may say they just avoid it because they have some sort of digital barriers. And almost none of these studies have focused on rural India. Now, suppose if that is the case, this is just an hypothetical example I'm trying to give you, then that is your gap. Fourth step is to formulate the research question. Now, what you do, you turn this gap into a clear question. You can frame it something like this. What factors influence telemedicine adoption among elderly patients in rural districts? So it is explicit, means it is clear cut. It is, you can assess it, and it is pertinent. It is relevant. Correct. Then refine the scope. Because ultimately you have to keep your study achievable. You have to narrow it down. Maybe you can just focus it on 2 rural districts and patients aged 60 and above. Or you can just consider some 3 factors. I'm just giving an example, like digital literacy, their perceived usefulness, or even their family support. Now, your refined question becomes sharper and far more manageable. All right. Then point number 6, step number 6 tells validate with mentors or experts. Please share your idea, okay, with a supervisor or a practitioner. because they might suggest better measurement tools or a more realistic sample. See, often a small expert suggestion, I already told you, will be saving your months of effort. Then at last, check resource availability. See, finally, please make sure you have the data, access, and also the permissions needed. Say, for example, can you reach those elderly participants through the primary healthcare centers? Because PHCs, primary health centers, they serve as the first point of contact between the rural communities and the government healthcare system. Correct. Apart from that, can you get local health workers who can help you? So check for that feasibility. Then, do you have a simple survey tool ready to conduct this study? If all these are available, your research problem is practical and feasible. So what began as your broad interest in digital health has in the step number 1, it has now become a clear, well-defined research problem that is meaningful, measurable, and attainable. So this is how exactly you move from, because you told me n number of topics, isn't it? Where you have the research interest. Now you are exactly moving from your curiosity to clarity, clarity to a strong research question. Okay. Hope you all are on the same page.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we have tools and techniques for problem identification. See, once we understand the steps to identify a research problem, the next step is how do we systematically pinpoint a strong and relevant research problem? Now, again, we come to your question, Dhanlakshmi ma'am. So for
Yes,
this,
ma'am.
yeah, there are several powerful tools and techniques. And let us go through them one by one. So respected audience, are you aware of this 5W and 1H approach? Hope you are. Point number 1.
For any good research, we have to apply the 7 words, ma'am.
Okay, 6. 5W and 1H. So it tells you who, what, when, where, why, and how. So this is nothing but this is a classical framework that helps to break your topic into manageable pieces. You can uncover all those hidden angles and this guides your inquiry. Say for example, if you are conducting some research on supply chain. Now you can ask all these questions. I'll tell you. Who is affected by delivery delays? What processes are causing them? When do delays occur most often? I'm just giving an example about the supply chain research. Where are the bottlenecks? Why do they persist despite interventions? H, how can the process be improved? Now, by systematically asking these 5W and 1H questions, you can identify precise research problems instead of tackling those vague or overly broad topics. Then we also have root cause analysis, or you can call it as Ishikawa diagram or fishbone diagram. Are you aware of this, audience?
No, ma'am.
Can you see?
Very
Can you
new
see?
to
No,
me.
no, ma'am.
Okay.
No, new.
Okay. So how we are identifying the problems with analytical and AI tools, I'm telling you that. After first point, can you see a fish here? Next to the root cause analysis, point number 2.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
we call this as fishbone diagram because
Yes, ma'am.
its structure, it resembles a skeleton of a fish. If you look at the fish here, the head represents the main problem or effect. Now, the spine is the central line running from the head to tail. Now, the bones branching off the spine, it represents major categories of causes like people, processes, equipment, environment, materials, and so on. And the smaller sub-branches, it represents the sub-causes. So this is nothing but a visual tool to trace the underlying causes rather than just looking at its symptoms. Say, for example, in hospital management, maybe frequent patient discharge delays, it may appear due to staff shortage or workflow inefficiencies, or maybe even because of some software issues. Now, if you are mapping these causes visually, it helps you to identify what to study and where the interventions might work. Third thing, audience, are you aware of mind maps?
Yes, ma'am, we do that.
Yeah. Can somebody explain me what is the concept of mind mapping?
Mind mapping is basically where you have a central node and then you make connections around those central nodes in your mind by linking main topic and then the subtopics and then connecting it through branches.
Exactly, ma'am. So mind mapping, it allows you to visualize the connections between the ideas, the subtopics, variables, means it is making it easier to spot the gaps for you. Suppose you are doing some research in digital marketing. You can start with social media engagement. You have it in the center. And to branch out, you can have influencers, platforms, demographics, the content type, and even the performance metrics. So this visualization, it uncovers areas that have not actually been explored. And that can become your research problem. Getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then we
No,
have...
ma'am. Didn't get it, ma'am.
Which one, ma'am?
Mind map, just now what you were saying.
Okay. You did not understand mind mapping, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Please repeat it, ma'am.
Yeah. See, ma'am, mind mapping, it's a visual technique so that you can organize any sort of ideas, concepts, or any information around some sort of if you have one central theme. So usually we call mind mapping like non-linear, or you call it as a graphical representation of ideas. Means you have some central concept that is placed at the center. And whatever is related to that particular central theme, those related ideas, it branches out from that. Means it helps us to brainstorm, or we can structure our thoughts. We can identify what are the connections, and we can start generating some new ideas. In simple words, you draw a diagram where you put the main idea in the middle, okay? And you start creating some branches for the related points, just like a tree or how a spider web has it. Now, why researchers use it? Because we can brainstorm the research topics. We can identify the link between the concepts. Okay, whatever has been branched out, we can understand what is the central concept and how is this particular one branch, how is it related to that particular idea. Or we can also use it to refine the research problem. Then we can also use it to organize the literature review themes. So ultimately, we can also visualize what is the scope of the study. Okay, ma'am, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Next, we have the gap matrix. So this gap matrix, it involves, we compare between what is known versus what is unknown. Say, for example, in education technology, say research might have studied AI-based learning in kindergarten to 12th standard. Okay. But its impact on adult professional upskilling, maybe it is, let us think, it has been remained unexplored. Now, this clearly shows a gap, and it helps you to focus your study on that particular uncharted area. That is your gap matrix. Then we have bibliometric tools. See, we have databases like Scopus, Web of Science. They help you to track the trending areas. From that, you can know which are the highly cited papers or which are the under-researched topics. Say if you are a sustainability researcher, you can quickly identify which renewable energy topics are gaining momentum. Means you can ensure your study it is both current as well as it is academically relevant. Then about the AI-based topic discovery, I need not have to tell you anything. We have n number of tools today. ChatGPT, we have Semantic Scholar, we have Connected Papers. All of them can generate ideas for us. It can summarize the trends, or even it can suggest related areas rapidly within seconds. Correct. If you are exploring something about urban mobility, you can directly use AI to discover the emerging themes like e-scooter adoption or smart traffic systems or even the micro mobility equity issues. So what might have taken weeks to map out manually can now be done in minutes or even seconds. It helps you to refine your research problem efficiently. So these tools are not replacing your creativity. Don't think like that, but it is enhancing it. They provide you the proper structure. It reveals the hidden connections. Also, it helps you to focus on research problems that are relevant, original, and feasible. Okay. Then, after the identification of a potential research problem, the next crucial step is to evaluate its relevance. Somebody was asking me about this. So let us understand here that audience, does every interesting question makes a good research problem? My question to you is, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
No,
We have
may
some
not be
interesting
even.
question.
May or may not, you know, sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, Vaishali ma'am. So every interesting question does not make, or we cannot convert that as a good research problem. Correct? Because it has to create value in multiple dimensions. Now, what do I mean by this? First thing is academic relevance. A problem is academically relevant if it can advance theory, if it refines methodology, or if it can fill a gap in the existing knowledge. Say, for example, in behavioral economics, if you are studying how gamification affects saving habits, it can help improve the models of financial behavior, or it can offer some new experimental methods. Second thing is practical relevance. Your research should ideally provide solutions or it should give actionable recommendations. See, if you are doing research in urban transport planning, studying ways how to optimize the last mile connectivity in metro cities, it can help improve the convenience to the commuters. It can reduce traffic congestions and it can even enhance the overall public transport efficiency. So that is practical relevance. Third thing is societal relevance. See, strong research often addresses issues that benefit the communities or that contributes to national development. Say, for instance, just take the field of disaster management. If researchers study how simple community-run early warning systems like village sirens or WhatsApp alert groups, if it can help people escape before a cyclone hits, it can directly save their lives. So, this kind of research gives the government practical ideas. They can build safer, faster, and more people-friendly disaster response systems. That is all about societal relevance. Fourth is institutional relevance. Sometimes relevance comes from alignment with your university's priorities or with your funding agency's goals. Say, for example, if your institution is focusing on artificial intelligence in creative industries, maybe a study on AI assisted tools for digital content creation This is not only going to add value academically, but it is also aligning with your institutional objectives. Means there is increasing support as well as recognition. And fifth thing is future scope. A good research problem should open doors for further studies. We have already discussed about this. Say, for example, in financial technology, maybe a research on adoption of mobile payment systems by small vendors. Somebody was mentioning about this, correct? It can later inspire studies on digital literacy programs, cybersecurity measures, or even consumer trust in fintech solutions. Is that right? Finally, global relevance. See, the problem may have international implications, meaning your findings can contribute to knowledge or solutions beyond your local context. Say, for instance, somebody was mentioning about marine ecology, correct? So studying microplastic pollution in coastal fisheries, it is not only informing the local conservation efforts, but also it is providing insights which are relevant to global marine biodiversity as well as sustainable fishing practices also. So when you evaluate your research problem, think critically about all these points. If your answer is yes to most of these, you have identified a research problem that is truly worth pursuing and that is impactful. Okay. Now let us explore some examples to see how a broad topic can be refined into a narrow focus and finally into a well-defined research problem. Because this process turns a general area of interest into a specific researchable question that is important as well as actionable.
Madam, my humble submission. My
Yes,
humble
sir.
submission, madam.
Yes, sir.
Now we are. Now it is 8:30, madam. Please take 10 more minutes.
Sure, I'll try to wind it up within 10 minutes, sir.
As early as possible, ma'am.
Yeah, sure, ma'am, sure. Yeah. Now, let us see how a broad topic can be refined into a narrow focus and finally into a well-defined research problem. The first example is there is a broad topic, online learning. That's a huge area, too general to study effectively. Am I right? Now, let us narrow it down to student engagement, which is a specific aspect of online learning and that can be measured as well as analyzed. So finally, the research problem formulation becomes what factors influence student engagement in virtual classrooms post-pandemic. This is now clear, focused, and timely, and also it provides a direction for research methods. Maybe you can take up with surveys or even interviews. Even second example is same. The broad topic is AI in HR. So this is interesting, but vague again. If you narrow it down to recruitment bias, we focus on a real organizational challenge that can be studied empirically. The research problem formulation, then it becomes how can AI tools reduce bias in recruitment in Indian IT firms? So this question is again feasible, measurable, and highly relevant to both academic inquiry and practical application in the workplace. Third example is the broad topic is work-life balance. Now, to make it researchable, we narrow it to remote employees, a specific group affected by changing work patterns. The research problem formulation is what is the impact of hybrid work on work-life balance among women professionals? Now, this study has a clear population, context, objective, and it is making it both viable and momentous. So participants always remember this three-step flow. Start with a broad area of interest, identify a narrow focus, and then frame a clear research problem formulation. So this approach ensures your research is focused, practical, also capable of producing impactful insights. Okay. Now, when you are identifying and formulating a research problem, even experienced researchers can sometimes make mistakes that compromise their study. So let us go through some common pitfalls so you can avoid them. First, selecting a topic that is too broad or vague. As a topic like technology in education. It sounds interesting, but it's far too general. Already we have discussed about this. Correct. Second thing is ignoring data or resource availability. Sometimes researchers, they just get excited about a topic, but later on they realize that there is no access to the participants or equipments or even to the data sets. So please always check the possibility. Without data, even the best research question cannot be answered. Third thing, focusing only on personal interest with no academic value. Your passion is definitely important. At the same time, your research should also contribute to knowledge, right? Studying something just because you find it fun and there is no relevance to theory, practice, or society, it may not be publishable or it is not significant at all. Fourth thing, copying an already solved or over researched topic. So repeating studies without adding a new angle does not advance knowledge. If you again want to study the effectiveness of traditional online learning in 2025, it may not be valuable if it has already been extensively researched during the pandemic. Correct? Unless you bring in a fresh perspective, there is no use at all. Fifth thing, formulating a problem that is too theoretical or untestable. A question something like, what is the nature of human creativity? This is interesting, but it is nearly impossible to measure directly. Correct? So good research problems should be testable, researchable with clear variables or criteria for evaluation. So finally, skipping consultation with mentors or experts should not be done. Okay. So please avoid such kind of mistakes. Please choose a precise, realistic, relevant and researchable problem and always validate your approach with mentors. Now, once you have formulated a potential research problem, the next step is validation. Means making sure it is significant, actionable and valuable. See, it is something like a reality check for your research problem before you dive into designing the study. First, discuss your problem with your academic guides or with your domain experts. They can help you to refine your focus. They can point out the gaps you might have actually missed, or they can even advise on the practicality. Next, check the recent publications from the last 5 years. Then only you can ensure your problem is novel and it is not already extensively studied. Okay. This helps you to avoid repeating some sort of existing work and it ensures that your research can contribute something new. Feasibility is another factor. Please ask yourselves, can I realistically collect the required data? Are the variables measurable? Or do I have access to the participants, instruments, or data sets? If not, the problem may need to be scaled down or you should reframe it. Then you should also consider ethical approval requirements, particularly if your research involves human participants or sensitive data or any sort of potentially impactful interventions. So this means your study aligns with the established ethical standards. So a simple but powerful question to ask yourselves is, will solving this problem add value to knowledge or practice? If the answer is no, it's time to refine or reconsider the focus. So finally, remember that validation is an ongoing process. So refinement, it is continuous. You may revisit your problem multiple times as you start gathering insights, as you start reviewing the literature, or as you review the feedback from experts. So a validated research problem, it is not just interesting, it must be original, viable, ethical and impactful, and it must set the stage for a successful study. Okay. Yeah. So these are the how you use technology to refine your research problems. Ma'am, does the meeting get cut after 8:45 or how is it?
Excuse me, ma'am.
No,
ma'am.
ma'am. No, ma'am. It won't be cut, but it's time. Okay.
All right.
Excuse me, ma'am.
We have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
check the patient. Yes.
All right.
Can you go back the previous slide, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can continue, ma'am. All right. Okay. Because I'll take another 5 to 8 minutes. Is that fine, ma'am? Because I just want to explain a few things here. If it is fine, okay, all right. Else I'll just share the my PPT.
Madam, please take
Yes,
your
ma'am.
own time. I request the audience and participants to be patient.
Because I only started around 7:20.
The lecture is very engaging and informative, madam. Please continue. I request the
Yeah.
audience, I request the participants to be patient. Thank you.
Is it fine, audience? Within 10 minutes,
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
close.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Please
ma'am.
go ahead, ma'am. Yeah.
Madam, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Because I just do not want to rush like that. I want to explain a few things. Okay. Now, using technology to refine your research problems. See, in today's research landscape, technology can definitely be a powerful ally in how we identify, refine, and validate the research problems. So, for instance, we have Scopus or Dimensions.ai. It can help you to spot hot topics, trending areas, or even the citation patterns. And it gives you a clear picture of which problems are currently relevant and where actually the gaps exist. You can also set up Google Scholar alerts so that you can get automatic updates whenever new publications appear in your areas of interest. So this assures that you are always aware of the latest developments, and it also avoids you to reinvent the wheel again. Okay. Then we have tools like ChatGPT. Everyone is using this. It can assist you in brainstorming the problem statements. You can generate the keywords, or even it helps you to summarize the complex literature. Means they don't replace your critical thinking. Please understand that. But they speed up your ideation, and it just helps you to frame your problem more clearly. That's the thing. And even for qualitative research, we have tools like NVivo, Atlas.ti. They allow you to perform thematic analysis. It helps you to uncover the patterns, or even you can organize insights from your interviews, surveys, or even from the textual data. So this can reveal gaps or angles you might not have noticed otherwise. So these tools will be helping you like this. Then we have platforms like Research Rabbit, Connected the Papers. It helps you to map the concept linkages. You can discover related works, or you can trace the evolution of ideas over time. Now, by visualizing how studies are connected, you can definitely identify which are the underexplored or untapped areas for your research. So, using these technological tools strategically, it makes your research problem more informed, precise, relevant, and it helps you to save time again, and also you can focus your efforts where actually they matter the most. Now, as aspiring researchers, there are some practical habits and mindsets that can make a huge difference in your journey. First thing is read widely. See, please don't limit yourselves to just a few papers, maybe in your narrow topic. Please explore journal articles, review papers, even policy reports. So reading broadly is not going to hurt you, but it helps you to spot gaps. You can understand the trends, and you can see how research connects to the real world problems. Second thing is maintain a research diary. Please jot down the emerging ideas, observations, or questions whenever they come to your mind. See, sometimes the best research problems, it starts as a casual note in your diary. Third thing, please discuss your ideas in research forums and webinars. If you share your thoughts and if you listen to others' perspectives, it gives you the exposure to new angles, challenges, assumptions, and definitely it can spark some creative solutions to you. Fourth thing is to balance passion with practicality. See, it's always great to be excited about a topic, correct? But please ensure the problem you're choosing is feasible in terms of data availability, time, and even resources. Passion alone is not enough. If the study cannot be realistically conducted, there is no use. Please make a note of this again. Fifth thing is be open to feedback and refinement. Please consult the mentors, peers, nothing wrong in that. experts, regularly keep meeting them, consult them. So constructive feedback is something like a gift that helps to sharpen your focus, and you can avoid any sort of blind spots. Okay. So finally, remember this: the problem you choose, it defines the researcher you become. The questions you tackle, the gaps you address, and the solutions you propose will shape your identity, your credibility, and impact as a researcher. So please choose wisely, stay curious, and also approach your research with both rigor as well as creativity. And as we wrap up for today's session, let us reflect on the key takeaways. A well chosen research problem is the backbone of your successful thesis. It's not just a question, it shapes your study, it guides your methods. Excuse me. Ultimately, it defines your contribution to knowledge. A good research problem must be clear, relevant, feasible, and innovative. I repeat, clarity guarantees that everyone understands what you are investigating. So relevance to your work, it adds value academically, practically, as well as socially. So feasibility tells that you can realistically conduct the study with the available resources. And innovation ensures that your work definitely stands out. It is offering some fresh insights or solutions. So when choosing a problem, try to align it with your academic goals, societal impact, and personal interests. So passion and purpose. Together, this is going to make your research both engaging as well as meaningful. And finally, remember that your research problem is not set in stone. Please keep revisiting and refining it until you feel, your supervisor feels it is meaningful and researchable. So, as Charles F. Kettering, who is a famous American inventor, engineer, entrepreneur, who is also known for his practical wisdom and inspirational quotes, he has wisely said that a problem well defined is a problem half solved. So please invest the time upfront to define your problem carefully, and it will make your entire research journey smoother, more focused, and far more impactful. All right. Yeah. Now I would like to open the floor for your questions, thoughts, or reflections. So please let us know. You can share your ideas. And please let us know in which stage of your research you are currently at, and what sort of challenges are you facing in formulating your research problem. Can we know that?
Madam, Gautam Kharat actually raised his hand. We'll ask him.
Sure.
Gautam? Hello? Gautam? Are you there? Okay, by mistake it happened.
No problem, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Sri Ranjini Madam, for your insightful and enriching session on choosing the research problem, identification, and relevance. Madam, your clarity and depth of explanation have greatly benefited all our participants, ma'am. On behalf of the whole team, I thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I also want to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the participants for your active engagement, as well as for all your thoughtful contributions today. So my regards to the organizers, the chief pattern convener, co-convener, and the academic organizing committee, coordinators, and my special thanks to Dr. K. Venkat Satish sir and the team members for providing this wonderful platform to connect, learn, as well as to exchange our ideas. So
Yes,
thank you all once again, and good night.
Thank you one and all for being a part of International Intensive Thesis Writing Workshop and for cooperation, active participation, and discipline throughout today's 2 sessions. Tomorrow we will continue with session 3 and 4 led by Dr. Kapil and Dr. Harishchandra Sudhan. We look forward to your same energy levels and active participation. Thank you so much. Sir, Ramuddin sir?
Madam.
Is it okay? Shall we
Okay, madam.
wind up it? Okay, sir.
Yes,
Venkat, sir?
yes. Again, I appreciate the interaction of participants with the resource persons during the sessions, and also for sharing their ideas and made
Yes,
the
sir.
session lively and invaluable. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Good night.
May I leave the session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. If they have any doubts, and we'll ask them. I mean, we'll send you, ma'am, and you can reply us.
Sure. Or else, if you want me to wait for some time, I'll wait.
Yeah, yeah. Participants, if you have any doubts, please ask ma'am.
Ma'am,
I guess
ma'am,
in
good
between
evening,
they were
ma'am.
actually getting some clarifications. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, this is Kiran Mai. Ma'am, I do have one doubt. Like, ma'am, should we follow null hypothesis or alternative hypothesis? And how should we approach into, like, does it depend upon the problem that we are taking, or most of us will follow null hypothesis, but sometimes in Viva they do ask about why didn't you go to alternate hypothesis as such? Yeah, that question.
Ma'am, in research, it is always common that you begin with a null hypothesis. So this is because the scientific process, it requires you to assume there is no effect, no difference, no relationship until
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is some sort of strong evidence to prove it otherwise. So suppose if your H0 says, null hypothesis says there is no significant relationship or no significant difference or no effect. Then you formulate the alternative hypothesis. After defining this H0, you create the alternative hypothesis, and this states what you expect or what you predict. Means there is a significant relationship or significant effect or difference.
Yes,
Now, why
ma'am,
do we follow?
you mean to say that after seeing the results, you can again formulate the hypothesis?
Ma'am, why do we follow this structure? I'll tell you. Suppose if we have some statistical tests like t-test, ANOVA, regression, chi-square, they are designed to test the null hypothesis. You do not prove the alternative directly. Instead, you reject H0 in favor of H1 or the alternative hypothesis if at all evidence is strong. Because this maintains scientific objectivity and also it reduces the bias of the researcher. Now, sorry. Now, say for example, how can we do this step by step? First thing, we identify the variables. Say for example, let us say there is some independent variable teaching method and some dependent variable student performance. Student performance is based on your teaching method. Now you formulate null hypothesis. The new teaching method has no significant effect on the student performance. Then you formulate the H1 alternative hypothesis. The new teaching method has a significant effect on the student performance. Now you choose the type of hypothesis. Suppose if it is two-tailed, if you only want to test whether there is any difference. Now, if it is one-tailed, if you expect a direction, suppose if there is increase or decrease in the performance. Next, you choose that statistical test based on the variables, the scale of measurement, and the study design. Then you set the significance level. Usually it will be 0.05. Then what you do, you run the test using the SPSS or Python, Excel, or any other statistical tool. Then you make a decision. If at all your p-value is equal to or less than 0.05, we know that we reject the H0 and we accept the H1. If it is the other way, if it is p-value is more than 0.05, you fail to reject H0. Means there is no evidence for H1. So you always begin with the null hypothesis, test it using the statistics, and based on the p-value, you either reject it or accept the alternative or retain it. The null is your starting point. The alternative is your conclusion if at all your evidence supports it. Okay, ma'am?
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks.
Yes.
Ma'am, mine is a novel, ma'am, comparative study between 6 novels. I am not able to guess which one will suit me. Like the ending, I'm still confused how to go on with it.
What you are not understanding, ma'am? How to?
How to conclude, ma'am? Like after the literature review, how to go on?
What is the name of the topic, ma'am, that you have chosen?
Environmental ecological concerns in the selected Indian English novels with respect to post-colonialism.
And who are the authors?
Amitav Ghosh, Kamla Markandeya, and Geeta Mehta.
Okay. So you have chosen both male and female writers.
Yes, ma'am.
And you talked about the environmental things, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you also told that you did, literature review, but still you did not come to a conclusion.
Literature review is not completely done, ma'am. I have
After
just
first of all, you have to finish it. Then you'll get full clarity.
Okay.
That is my idea. And ma'am, Ranjani ma'am. Hello. Sri Ranjani ma'am.
Please unmute, madam.
Sorry. I was on mute. I'm sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. As Varna ma'am rightly said, yes, you have to first finish your review of literature, because then you can move from the broad knowledge to a sharp, manageable research project. So what? Suppose if you have, let us say, if you have, once you have finished your ROL, you can follow a roadmap. What you can do, you can synthesize that ROL into a research problem. Means, try to turn what you found into a focused gap. What exactly has not been compared across these novels? As ma'am was telling you about the gender representation, or the theme, or the narrative technique, intertextuality, ideology, its forms, reception, anything. Then why does the gap matter? Maybe to the theory, or to the pedagogy, or to the cultural history. So try to have some, your outcome must be like one crisp statement in 1 or 2 sentences about the research problem. Then what you do, choose a clear comparative lens, excuse me, and one theoretical framework. What do I mean by this? Try to pick 2 things that suit your problem and the novels. If it is a thematic, say for example, you try to consider trauma and migration, or if it is, or you can go ahead with formalist, stylistic, or some genre study, or you can go ahead with intertextual or influence study. So this will guide you the with the interpretation. Correct. Then what you can do is you formulate the research questions and hypotheses. Please make them specific, answerable, and aligned with whatever you are studying. Say, for example, your research question.
I would like to add one more point. Whatever actually ma'am said, that is right. And also, see, we can have both positive, what we can say, comparative statements and contrast statements. You need not worry about it. First, you have to keep them aside and then you work on it.
Okay.
Madam, a small request. Just we had a discussion on H0, null hypothesis, that one. Just briefly in 2 sentences, please.
You want me to tell about null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis?
Yes, madam. Just
I was just answering the previous question, ma'am. I'll just finish that and I'll come to this, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Then what you do, ma'am, you just try to formulate the research questions as well as hypothesis. You can frame something, your research questions, like how does this, you said 6 novels, correct? How do these 6 novels construct the female agency through narrative focalization, something like that. Or in what ways does the trauma representation differ between novel A and C, or novel D and F, why? So if at all, if you are using, say, the quantitative coding, you may have some hypothesis also, H0, H1. And for interpretative work, you can state the analytic aims. That can also be done. Then please try to define the units of analysis as well as what is your sampling rationale. Okay. Decide exactly what you want to compare. Is it the whole novels, or some selected chapters, or some narrative sections? or you want to compare some characters, motives, and please explain why these 6 novels. Why have you considered them? Okay. Then you please decide on your methodology. Qualitative, quantitative, whatever you want to go ahead with. Okay. Then comes your data collection and materials. You can definitely choose that, and then you can go ahead with the analysis plan step by step.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Then definitely after that you have your validity, and you can explain your what are your limitations. So then you can just give the structure of your chapters in your thesis, like chapter 1, as you know, introduction, then comes the ROL, your theoretical framework, then your methodology, data, then the comparative analysis, whether you have done it by theme, cluster, novel pairs, whatever it is. Then you come to the discussions, then the implications and future research.
The next, null hypothesis and hypothesis.
What you did not understand, ma'am?
Madam,
you want me to just you want me to just again explain it? That's it. Ma'am, you want me to just explain what is H0 and H1? That's it, no? In simple words, okay. Now, null hypothesis H0 means it says nothing is happening. Okay, no difference, no effect, there is no change, there is no relationship. Suppose we were just discussing about the new teaching method. It does not, if you have some new teaching method, it is not improving the students' marks. So you just think of it like something like a default, or that is your starting assumption that there is no difference at all. Then coming to alternative hypothesis, we call it as H1. It says something is happening. Means there is some difference, there is some effect, there is some change happening, or there is some relationship. Means, if I take the same example, the new teaching method is it does improve the students' marks. And this is what the researcher expects, or you want to test it. So the simpler way to remember is H0, nothing is happening. H1, something is happening. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Thank you. And when we can use the other one, H2?
Excuse me. What, ma'am? You asked me when to use H1.
H2.
H2. What is H2, ma'am? It is H0 and H1. H0 is null hypothesis. H1 is alternative hypothesis.
Alternative.
When you use H1 is when you want to show there is something is happening in your study.
Right.
Means
Got it.
H1 when you want to test you have some expectation